What's up, everyone? Drunken Phoenix here. So today I'm going to do another reaction to people talking about their car payments and stuff. And like I said in one of my prior videos, the purpose of these videos right now are for us, to walk with our heads just a little bit higher. There is a lot of stresses and, things that happen on in our lives and just a lot of pressures. So it's nothing like, looking at other people's financial problems and feeling a little bit better about yourself. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So here's the first gentleman.
Everybody is leasing cars now. I can't even remember when was the last time I did an actual finance deal on a new car. Now, the reason why leasing has grown in popularity is because you can put little to no money down and still have a manageable car payment. If you think about it, a lot of the cars that people want, they're $30,000 to $40,000. Financing a $30,000 to $40,000 car with $2,000 to $3,000 down, your payment's still crazy. When you lease a car, you're only paying for a portion of the vehicle, which means that you can be in a more expensive car at a lesser payment. Usually to get to a low payment, you have to put a crazy amount of money down, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 down on that new car. Also, cost of living is going up, and it's just easier to maintain a lower monthly payment. And then also, to be able to have a low monthly payment and swap out your car every 3 years is like a win-win. Yes, when you lease a car, it's like running a car, but a lot of people don't actually care to pay a car off. They're used to having a monthly car payment every single month. Now, I don't actually think there's anything wrong with that. If you don't have a long-term plan to keep a car, leasing is probably your absolute best bet. If you guys think any differently, drop it in the comments, but I think leasing is the new wave.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. People, Americans. This is why I said in my the degree video, we really need to educate our populace. People really need an education because common sense is not. It seems like critical thinking is just going downhill now. So first of all, as far as leasing, I'm glad that it seems like people are trying to find ways to lower their car payments. So I guess if leasing is an option to lower your car payment that you pay every month, I'm glad people are taking that step. Personally, I think a better step would be to just get a car that you can afford. I think that would be a little bit better. As far as leasing goes, I've never really been a big fan of that. That was never something I wanted to do. I mean, it may make more sense for some other people for whatever reasons they may have. I just feel like, I guess one of the things that he mentioned in the video is that some people are just used to paying car payments, and not everybody really cares about getting their car paid off. That I find that mindset that is very, very puzzling to me, because why, especially in this economy, why would you want to get a car without thinking about eventually having it paid off until you can have no car payments? Like, who just gets used to just having a bill to pay on a car just because? Like that is puzzling to me. I guess maybe there is some, reason why people may feel that way, that maybe based in some type of, logic and, rationality. I just fail to see it. Let me know in the comment section if there is a good reason to do that. Also, what he mentioned at earlier in the video is that people are leasing because a lot of the cars that Americans are getting are like $30,000 or $40,000, which I am always puzzled why people are getting cars this expensive. Just like it seems like I said, it seems like most people always are settled on getting like some of the newest cars, and they're like paying $30,000 on cars that are just regular cars, not even like the luxury ones, just like regular Honda Accord or a Toyota or a Ford. Like, just, I guess I'm confused by that, because there are just so many great cars that you can get for under $20,000. They may not be the newest, they may not be the 22 or 2025 model, but they're still relatively new. They're still like up to date in technology. They still have Bluetooth. They still have the the mirrors that close. like with the button. You know, these are still pretty modern cars. It may not be a 2024 model, but it might be a 2015 model, or it might be a 2016 model, or a 2012. You know, it's something that's still up to date in technology and can still get you from point A to point B. Because if you aren't able to pay for a $30,000-$40,000 car in cash, then maybe you should get something a little bit older and cheaper. And maybe you should consider wanting to eventually have your car paid off in a reasonable amount of time. Like, you know, and you guys know I've always been an advocate for people, for, you know, having empathy for people and understanding that, you know, that the system we live in, you know, we live in a very capitalist society where I like capitalism to a degree, but I do feel like it should be, you know, somewhat, it should be in a reasonable state. Like, I feel like we shouldn't go too far down the capitalist rabbit hole. But so I've always been a spokesperson for saying how, you know, having empathy for people's situation. But a lot of these people do be, they are the problem. Their decisions are the problem they have. Like, they are their own worst enemy. So I don't want to go too much on a rant on this. I always go hard on the very first video, but yeah, those are just my thoughts. Let me know if you agree or not agree. Please leave in the comment section, what are the legitimate reasons people are leasing cars? You know, unless you just got it like that, you want to just be in something new. That's always been the reason I've heard. Like, some people just like to be in newer cars, but it doesn't make the most financial sense to me. Unless you're rich and don't give a damn. You know, if you're rich and you got it and it's not hurting your bank account, then fine, do it. You know, lease. But anyway, next video.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Follow up on that 2022 Mercedes SL63 you got. You're trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
All right. So you got 8,400 miles. You bought it for, you said $211,000, correct?
Yeah, that was the MSRP, but I got a little discount, so I paid about $200K for it.
All right, 200,000. And you bought this last year?
Yeah, I bought it brand new.
Okay. And you're in Dallas, Texas. What are you looking to get for it?
I haven't really done any research on it at all, so that was why I was asking you, like, what is what and stuff.
How much do you owe right now on it?
150.
Okay.
Not sure.
How clean is the car? No scratches?
Oh, it's perfect.
SL63, you know, with a little less miles, they're going between 110,000 all the way up to 125,000.
It's black.
Black. And what color's the interior?
Red.
If I was to offer you 100 grand.
To look at some, I have to check. Maybe I'll call Mercedes and see, then I'll get back to you.
Okay. Well, I mean, so the number you have to be at is at 140, right? You're just trying to pay it off.
Today, yeah.
They're more than welcome to consign the car with us. So consignment means, like, you know, the vehicle comes to the dealership, we'll detail it, put photos up, put it up on our platform. 20 to 125 if it sits for a while.
Okay.
If you want a quick sale, maybe 115.
Okay, cool. That works.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you very much. Let me know.
Yeah, thank you.
No
Yeah,
problem.
sure.
Bye.
Okay, so the reason why I can't go as hard on this video as I would want to, because I don't know exactly why this guy is selling his car. I don't know his financial situation. What I do know is that clearly he couldn't afford it because, you know, he still got it financed, and he's trying to sell it so soon, you know. And I mean, just because you finance the car doesn't mean you can afford it. You know, I get that. Like, the cars that I finance my car, but I could still pay it off in full anytime I want. But, you know, this is a $200,000 Mercedes that he gotten, and it seems like, I know from this guy's videos, this TikToker, usually the people that call in for him, they usually have bad news, or just like they usually are not financially literate, you know. So yeah, I can only imagine this guy couldn't afford this Mercedes vehicle. Yeah, just don't. If you don't got it, don't buy it. If you don't got the money for it, don't buy it. You know, who does that?
Calling a customer on her 2019 Honda Civic. She owes about $23,000. She wants to get out of it. So let's give her a call.
Hello?
I'm calling about your 2019 Honda Civic you want to get rid of.
Typically, it's either I'm trying to give it back upon internal recall because I can't afford it anymore. It's like 611 months plus my insurance is like 460 something.
You're trying to give it back, you said? You're cutting out again. If you could just bring the phone to your ear.
I'm trying to get out of it or get something that's cheaper.
You said you're trying to give it back?
I was thinking about giving it back, and then I saw you on TikTok, and I'm like, okay, let me see.
Meant like you wanted the bank to come and repo it.
Yeah.
How's your credit?
472.
472. Okay. And what is your income?
Income as of now is like 700 weekly.
All right. So you make about 4,000 to 5,000 a month. I will give you about 12,500 once I verify mechanical and condition. The concern is the negative equity. So you have about $23,000 you owe, and if I give you, let's say I give you $13,000, you have about a $10,000 discrepancy. I can try to roll that over.
I'm thinking how to put down anything on, because I told you I wasn't thinking about keeping this car either.
So if you do want a voluntary repossession, just know that that will be on your credit for a while. It's still reported as a repossession, and you will owe the bank the difference of whatever it sells for at the auction.
Okay.
Well, if you have any more questions,
Okay.
give me a call. And if you still want to make something happen, know that you'd have to have some money down with your credit score.
Okay, so I'll think about it, and then I'll definitely give you a call back.
All right. Thank you very much.
This is what I'm talking about. I think at least you recognize that she can't afford it now. But so paying $611 for the Honda Civic, and then, you know, $460 on top of that for insurance, that's crazy to me. And clearly that's obviously because you know, she has very bad credit. And I know that when you have bad credit, the car rates are very, very high, because I used to be wondering, how do some of these people have these car rates? But not the car rate, the interest rate, I'm sorry. The interest rates are very high, that makes you have these crazy payments. With that being said, I still find $23,000 for a Honda Civic, even if it is a 2019, that makes it like 6 years old. I find that incredibly high. I really do, for such a basic car, Civic. Like, people don't realize how do people not realize how cheap it is to get a decent car? Like, there's this one car, right? I saw, like, it had a lot of miles on it, but it was a 2016 model, good condition, and it was only like $7,000. And sometimes I just like to look at the prices of cars just to kind of price things out. I wasn't planning on getting anything, but this was to be exact, this was a BMW car that was $7,000, 2016 5 Series. I was just looking. The reason I was looking at it was because I have the BMW 2015 5 Series, and I think I was just looking at comp prices. I just try to see, just like get a measure of just how much it's worth, how much other cars that are comparable to it are worth. Just, you know, but very nice car. And the BMW 5 Series, those are really solid cars. Contrary to what people would say, they're very solid and they're very affordable. Like, it's not like that. The one that I saw online was only $7,000, and it was no accidents, no scratches. It's just, you know, BMWs do depreciate faster than regular cars. But I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be a fucking BMW. I'm just saying there are just so many cars that might be a little bit older. They may have more miles on it, but they are cheap, like at least affordable, I should say. Like, I find $23,000 for any car really to be crazy, you know. And I'm someone that can afford that, but I just feel like that's just not a good investment. I feel like there's just too many good deals out here to where you don't have to spend that much for a car.
Don't buy that new car. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know it's cooler than your current car, and it has like all the bells and whistles, and it has the colored interior, and it just looks cooler, and you want to feel cooler, and you want to feel like you're it, but don't do it. I'm telling you right now, you are it with your bucket car. Don't do it. And here's why. I am 27 years old, and I've always drove cash cars, like $5,000 cars. They got me from point A to point B. I never really cared about like how it looked. I was grateful for what I had. I thought they were great. And then I got married, and you know, he wanted to get a new car. So we got a car, financed a car. Love the car, hate the payments, hate them. Materialism, specifically with a brand new car, unless you can buy it cash, unless you genuinely make the income to pay the payments and they don't hurt you, let's say you're making at least like a minimum $10,000 to $50,000 a month, which, to be honest, is what my husband and I were making at the time when we got the car, which is why it didn't really matter to us at the time. But if you don't have the money, do not get the dang car, because $700 a month for a car payment is not fun when that's what jobs are pretty much paying you now every week or two. Like, that it doesn't make sense to pay for a car that you're driving to work to pay for the car. It's a rat race. It's not worth it. Stop worrying about looking cool for your friends. I don't care. You know what's cool? You having delayed gratification. You staying in your bucket car, not caring about what people are saying about you while they rack up debt and have to work to pay off their car. That's what's cool. Buy assets, not liabilities. And let me give you a lesson here. You weren't taught this in school. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket. Your money can make you money. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket, aka a car payment, a car loan. Don't do it. I promise you, just don't.
She gave some very solid advice. She said the same thing that I said, that if you can't pay for it in cash, don't get it. I'm not saying you have to get it in cash. You can still finance it, but just at least have enough cash to afford it. But these car payments people are paying, I can't imagine paying $700 a month for a car. And then you have to think about the insurance costs as well. So, yeah, just please be smart and just know that you do have options. You do not have to have the latest car. Your car can be, it's okay if your car is like 6, 7, 10 years old. It's okay. In fact, my car is actually 10 years old this year.
Every day I go back and forth with myself about getting a new car. I want a new car so bad, but I have been car payment free for 3 years now. Y'all don't know how it feels to be car payment free, especially when you have had car payments all your life. And when you finally pay off a car, that is the best feeling in the world. But baby, listen, when I get to looking on social media and I see my girls get they new cars and they be in they Benzes and BMWs and Lexuses, baby, I be like, I want a new car so bad, but I don't want the car payment that come with it. I will drive my car till the wheels fall off. You hear me? Cause woo, I know I work hard, y'all, and I deserve it, but I don't want the problems or the car payment that come with it.
Turns out when you make a $20,000 truck $43,000, it doesn't sell very fast. This is the Ford Maverick Tremor Edition. And the funniest part to me is this thing only gets 23 miles per gallon. I think that's just absolutely wild to me. The one you really want is this little hybrid one, an XL with the steel wheels and everything like that. But look at this. This one's already $31,000. But granted though, at least for this, you do get high fuel economy numbers.
Imagine paying $31,000 for that kind of car. Like, I might be biased because I'm not a pickup truck kind of guy, but I would never spend that much money for a car like that.
37 mpgs. And this one is the all-wheel drive. So they did add the all-wheel drive to the hybrid setup. So this one is pretty good, but I mean, it's bare bones, no bed liner, anything like that. And again, these things are really, really tiny, but it's perfect for, I would say, most people for their pickup truck needs. It's just funny though, these again were supposed to start around $20,000. Now these start around $27,000, as you see. Now this has options, right? So that's how you get to the $31,000. We went from supposed to start at 20 to now we're at $27,000 starting before you add anything into it.
We bought a $40,000 car that we absolutely could not afford and had to trade it in 9 months later. In 2021, we walked into a car dealership in Kansas City and we walked off the lot with a 2021 Toyota Highlander that we absolutely could not afford. We had zero business buying that car, but yet somehow they still let us walk off the lot with it. We were making decent money and getting by at that time. I had a 1-year-old and I was pregnant with my second daughter and needed a mom car. No, I didn't, newsflash. But yeah, so that happened. About 6 months after that, we moved to Montana and pretty much started over our entire lives. So we couldn't afford that payment anymore. We were paying $750 a month for this car. And to put that in perspective, our mortgage in Kansas City was $850. Everything was much more expensive up here and we weren't making the same income we were making in Kansas City at first. So we decided to just go ahead and trade it in. We took the hit and learned the lesson. Honestly, I don't regret getting out of that situation. I'd rather admit that I made a bad money move than stay stuck just to save face.
So yeah, I'm glad that she learned her lesson and that, you know, they did the responsible thing, you know, and just ended up getting rid of the car. I think this serves as a very good example of what I was saying earlier, where, you know, I think when I think about capitalism, I think, you know, I do value capitalism, but at the same time, I think there should be some regulation to it, because when your form of governance is just based on money, it really is, it becomes very predatory by nature, you know. And, you know, with someone like her, like, given, like, I don't know all her financial circumstances, but just the way that these car dealerships are so predatory on people and will let them walk out with cars that they know statistically they may not be able to afford, you know, that's kind of bad. You know, I mean, yes, it's their decision, blah blah blah, but at the same time, why do they get approved for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely predatory, because they wouldn't give someone that's trying to get a house, they wouldn't let them get a house that they know they couldn't afford. No bank would lend them money for that, but yet they do that for people getting cars they can't afford, you know. And I get, you know, there's a lot of people that are not, you know, good with money or not really financially literate, you know, and part of that could be the blame on them. But at the same time, I feel like there should be some type of regulations where we still watch out for people like that, like help them out, you know, saying, hey, you can't afford this, and just say you're not gonna be able to get this car, or we're not gonna let you walk out this car. You know, we're not gonna give you these predatory interest rates. We're just not giving you the car because you can't afford it. You know, but I mean, of course, that would never happen. At the very least, have financial literacy classes in school. You know. And that should be required in high school, you know, and make it available in college as well, because that's when a lot of people start getting their first, you know, car loans and stuff. But yeah, but let me know what you all think. What do you think about these people and these car payments, and just, are you guys also just blown away by the irrationality that some people are making when it comes to getting a car? You know, like, when I heard that, when that first guy said that some people are just so used to car payments they don't mind having it forever, that right there made me think, wow, people really have their priorities messed up. But yeah, but let me know what you all think. Thanks for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.